Ga? Jerobi! Boya! Arabeth? Oh! Hanaru Jasapa! Lombek. Horno.
Torque Bashoshi. Morangi. DZ Baba.
Rishi Pando. Galgala. Quexi. Bashma. Ah, Vimka Cecil.
Arvane Sanko, Binarp, Palkatu, Lemphia Zerpa, Lahoin Snebara, Shabini
Nibahana.
Arvane Sanko, Binarp, Palkatu, Lemphia Zerpa, Lahoin Snebara, Shabini Jabid, Turp System.
Ah, Resalek. Franho Hibani. Genja Fasar. Resalek. Franho Hibani. Genja Fasar. Dasmikos Karenzi. Oh.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Horse Ranch LP that I have on my channel. And as you guys could just see from the little intro, apparently Holly is going out for a little like Halloween date. Dorian didn't call it a date, but it's kind of a date. And honestly, she looks really happy. She was really sad literally a moment before, and now she's smiling and grinning to herself. So I feel like that really did help her change her mood a little bit. She definitely hasn't 100% gotten over everything. It's still a shock to her that Dorian and Dakota are brothers, and she still hasn't really come to terms with it. She really isn't sure if it's something she would be able to look past in order to like continue a relationship with Dorian if that's what she was interested in. Obviously, they've only hung out twice at this point, and the first time went really well, and the second time was when Holly found out that Dorian and Dakota were related. So we're about 50-50 for good times at the current moment. But I think overall, Holly still has a really great relationship with Dorian. They get along so incredibly well that I still feel like she would be excited, but she has not 100% accepted that if she were to pursue a relationship or anything further with Dorian, Dakota would be in her life, and I don't think she's really ready for that. So she is going to go about her day now, and this evening we're going to go out for a little Halloween get-together with Dorian. It should be fun. They're going to dress up and hopefully have a good time. It's always hit or miss with Holly, but we will see. Hope you guys are still enjoying the series. If you are, hit that like button, and let's go ahead and jump into some gameplay and some more storytelling. So that phone call finally got Holly to wake up. It is Halloween, or Simoween, as the holiday says in my game. But Holly is awake and she is in a decent mood right now. She's happy. She's excited about Halloween. And I am excited to get into gameplay for today. She wants to become disliked by Dakota, which happened when I was playing off camera, and I've pinned it. Because that's definitely something that she's been wanting to do, and it's kind of the trajectory of the story right now. So that's going to play into part of the gameplay today, is getting Dakota to dislike us. So there will be some drama with that, I'm sure, or at least some hurt feelings. now that Holly is finally awake and up, this is the first time that she's been up and out of her room in at least 3 or 4 days. She's been kind of dwelling a little bit on everything that happened. It's a little dramatic, but Holly's a bit dramatic. For her, it's like worst case scenario is what just happened. And again, that's a bit dramatic, but it's just kind of how Holly is. For her, she just didn't want that to be the case. And when it happened, it was hard for her to adjust. And she needed some time to process it. But we are currently back on the up and up. And we're going to get her to get ready. She's going to take a shower right now, probably brush her teeth. And get started on our ranch duties. The ranch has been slightly neglected. Poor Granny Hazel has had to basically take over doing everything for the last few days, and really pull her weight a lot more. Hopefully Holly is ready to step up. There's a ton of prairie grass that needs to be collected. There's just a ton of chores that need to be done. Oh, and look, at our bills are due, and it's 10,446 simoleons. Not cheap. We definitely need Granny Hazel's nectar to start aging a little faster. Holly needs to come out here. Let's go ahead and start picking up some of the horse manure, and check on our horse. How's Sugarbush? Actually, Sugarbush is doing really well. We should still do basic things with Sugarbush, and we need to consider entering another competition. We haven't finished the barrel racing section yet, but that is something that we need to consider finishing pretty quickly so we can move on to other categories. I'm going to get Granny Hazel to come over here and pay the bills. She wants to be mischievous and make an excellent bottle of nectar, which we can definitely get started on our nectar making today as well. We haven't filled the cellar yet. Let's go for filling the cellar. And I would like to try and find the mysterious rancher as well to try and sell some of our nectar. It's so nice seeing Holly. One, she looks so happy to be picking up trash, but she's just in a better mood. She has been so hard to handle as a sim for the last few days, and it's nice to see her feeling confident and happy and kind of back to her regular old self. I'm sure she'll have some angry outbursts at some point because that's just how she is, but for now it is very nice to see a much more mellow Holly. And oh no, Marshmallow's stinky. See what I mean? The ranch duties have been slightly neglected. It's too much for Granny Hazel to take care of by herself, which is the whole reason we moved out to the ranch. All right, we took care of Sugarbush's needs, so we're going to try and mount to go practice riding, and we need Granny Hazel to take care of our little sheep and goat. We're rocking the pink saddle today. I like it. So I'm going to maybe get her to go do... I mean, we're not close to what we need, but we're going to try. We're going to try and go do a competition and see how it goes. I really wish they would go together. Like, why do they get off? It just seems silly. Okay, they're off to the barrel racing competition. This is the intermediate one. We don't have the skills necessary for it, but we're still going to give it a go. So Granny Hazel is here making her nectar, and as you guys could see in the intro, Granny Hazel went over to Dakota and Monica's and basically exchanged some of her nectar with them. Monica gave her some pointers and tips on nectar making, so Granny Hazel's going to start applying that to her own nectar making. Of course, Holly doesn't know any of this has happened. Holly doesn't know that they have, been talking about their nectar businesses and honestly having open communication on how to make each other's better. Monica was really helpful for Granny Hazel, and Granny Hazel, again, has no ill will towards the Hatahala family at all, and has no ill intentions of, trying to steal the spotlight of their nectar making. This is just a fun hobby for Granny, and something that she wanted to do, and something that she wanted to get good at, but not necessarily be the absolute world's best. So I'm sure Holly won't really understand that, but Granny has a good relationship with the neighbors. She tried to go over there and see kind of what was going on. And of course, Monica and Dakota kind of let them know that they just, oh no. Well, this isn't going to make matters better. Did not place. Oh, man. Okay, well, again, that's not going to help matters at all. Anyways... So again, Holly doesn't know that Granny has a good relationship with Dakota and Monica, and Granny doesn't really understand the feud. She talked to the neighbors about it, and she knows that Holly's been upset, but she hasn't really come any closer to understanding. So Granny is minding her own business at this point. She's like, hey, I tried. It doesn't seem like it's anything that I should get involved in. It's something with Holly. And Granny will probably at some point bring it up to Holly and be like, hey, I went and spoke to the neighbors. I would like to, try and figure out what's going on. But as of right now, Granny's kind of staying out of it because she doesn't fully understand what any of it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put Granny's nectar down here in the aging things in the cellar, and probably check these other ones and see if we have any finely aged ones, so we can go see if we can find the mysterious rancher. Seem moderately, lightly, moderately, 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 and moderately. We have no finely aged ones yet. Lightly, lightly, moderately. Not yet. Okay. Oh, this grape nectar is finely aged. Okay, well we have one, and it says it's selling for 1,155 simoleons. That is not a small amount of money by any means. It will definitely help. We'll try and find the mysterious rancher and see if we can get him to buy some. Okay, so Granny is downtown, and I'm pretty sure the mysterious rancher comes to the grocery store, but I don't see him. I know it's specific times on specific days, and maybe I've missed it. I don't need the happy hour thing. I feel like we might have missed him, so that's a little bit of a bummer. I've sent her in to go shop apparently instead. Will we buy anything or sell anything? So it doesn't look like it's any more to sell the nectar there. Yeah, I don't see the mysterious rancher. Oh, but here's Sierra. I gave Sierra a little makeover. Look how cute she is. Yeah, I just gave her a little CC. I didn't change any of her facial features, and I just think she looks so cute. Who's this? Steve? Okay. Mysterious rancher, where are you? And here's the bar. Okay. I think I must have missed him. I'll try again later on. I think it's before 2 is when you're supposed to come on, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, maybe? I should have checked the community board. But it's okay. That's fine. We'll send Miss Granny home, and it's getting close to when Holly probably needs to start getting ready for this little Halloween date. Okay, Granny's back home. Miss Holly is up here not getting ready, so I'm probably going to send her to go freshen up. Not that one. What is it? Check yourself out. Okay, well, I'm going to send her in here to psych herself up and freshen up and all of that. And we are going to get ready for our little outing for Halloween. Apparently she's butthurt. Okay. High maintenance Sims are so funny. No, Holly, where? I was waiting for her to start freshening up and psyching herself up, but apparently she has decided she doesn't need to do that. So if you're going to be like that, we are just going to go ahead and should we chat with Dorian? And okay, let's check in with Dorian. And oh my goodness, wait, is this a trick-or-treater? Oh, it is. Let's give him a treat. Although I feel Holly would trick him, but I want to give him a treat because that's so cute. Okay, so Holly's checking in with Dorian right now and being like, okay, when are we meeting up? Where is the location? Just give me the details. He's not picking her up or anything, because for him, again, it's not a date. So she's a little oh, okay, I guess he's not picking me up. So she's, figuring that all out, and they will meet up soon. But for now, we're going to give him, our little trick-or-treater, a treat. Oh, that's so fun. Oh my goodness, I love it. Apparently she's sitting down to talk to Granny. Why did this woman come into our house? Okay. The Sims logic, man. Okay, so now we're all sitting at the bar together. Holly's going to tell Granny Hazel, hey Granny, I'm going out for Halloween. I'm meeting up with Dorian. And, oh, another trick-or-treater. Let's give them a treat as well. Is this an adult? This is oh, it must be a teen. I wish the teens were slightly shorter. Cute, a little astronaut. Okay, but anyways, Holly's gonna tell Granny, hey Granny, I'm going out with Dorian. I will be back late tonight, but I hope you have a good Halloween, and we are going to head out now. Alright, so we're here with Dorian and Holly, who have arrived at this little pumpkin patch. I got this off the gallery, and I think it was just called a pumpkin patch. So I have them both here. Holly, of course, looks freaking mad. But Holly's supposed to be a little witch. She put some, green dye in her hair. She has her little witchy outfit on, down to the boots, She's looking cute, has a hat on. Dorian, where is he? Do I need to pause this? Let me pause it real quick. Dorian is a nerd, so he is Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher, and he looks so adorable. He has, his white hair wig on. He has his cool little outfit. I wish I could have downloaded something for him instead, but I think this works well enough. I don't think Dorian would be too fussed. What is happening here? Holly, of course, is angry, as always. But hopefully this doesn't affect their evening too much. Dorian is just here as friends. He just wants to have a good time. So he's coming up to her right now and being like, hey, this is the place. It's going to be super casual. Let's just have fun. Let's go carve some pumpkins. Maybe watch the sunset. They also have a movie projection screen up in the back. We can watch a scary movie later on tonight, get some snacks, and of course she's yelling at him. She is not in a great mood. Apparently she's still feeling butthurt about everything going on. I don't know. So Dorian has convinced her to come inside finally. We are going to get them to, if I can get us set up, carve some pumpkins. Oh, I can't see. Holly is starting hers right now. And hopefully this gets her in a good mood and keeps her in a good mood. We're also going to get Dorian to carve his. I think I picked for Holly to carve a cat, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I do love these little pumpkin carving things. I don't utilize them nearly enough. I don't do holidays very well, and oh my god, Holly, chill out. For Halloween being one of her favorite holidays, she sure is in a horrible mood. Maybe that's why she likes it, though. She gets to stab things. Dorian's there. Dorian, of course, is in such a great mood. He's like, oh yeah, this is amazing. This is awesome. Having such a great time. Meanwhile, Holly is just angry at her pumpkin. Alright, so I think Holly is finishing up now. I wanted to get a close-up shot of Holly here. And let's see what your pumpkin looks like, girly. I think she's done. And what is that? What is that? Holly! I would be very angry too if this is what my jack-o'-lantern ended up looking like. What is that? That's what she gets for stabbing it. That is a work of art. I want Holly to remember this, so I'm having her take pictures of her jack-o'-lantern. Because I can't get over the way this freaking jack-o'-lantern looks right now. Oh, and Dorian finished his, and his looks adorable. Don't let Holly see it, Dorian. He doesn't own this. Okay, apparently Dorian can't take his jack-o'-lantern with him, which is really awful. Holly took hers. Anyways, Dorian's looks great, so I'm happy that he at least had a good time and was able to make a nice little jack-o'-lantern. So Dorian said there was a little food stand outside. We're going to go out there and order some nice fall treats, something delicious and warm. So I think I got one of them to get a muffin and Dorian got a drink. And we're going to go over behind the shed is a little projection screen. As you guys can see, a little movie theater outside. We're going to get them to go over here and watch a scary movie together. and just kind of hang out. Again, all of this, Dorian is still just seen as like a friendly hangout. He knows Holly likes Halloween. He knows that last time they saw each other didn't go very well. So he's just really trying to at least develop a friendship. Dorian is one of those people that really needs to have a good friendship built before he can really see anything romantic. He knows he likes her, he knows he has a crush on her and thinks that she's like really pretty and all of that, but like for him it's really hard to, you know, to open up to someone. Oh wow, I did not know that happened here. We are in Strangerville, by the way. So I have them over here watching the scary movie now. Of course, Holly decided to sit as far away from Dorian as possible. You couldn't have sat next to him, Holly, and she's still mad. She's probably not going to end up enjoying the movie. She's just a really difficult sim. She's probably thinking, you know, oh, this is actually fun. She probably is enjoying herself, but like hates that she's allowing herself to enjoy something because she's still pretty mad and upset about the whole brother situation. She also feels like Dorian didn't ask her on a date, so she's not feeling like Dorian even likes her at this point. She's like, oh, he just wants a friendship. He's like friend zoning me, essentially. Not that I believe friend zoning really exists necessarily. They've just never had an open, honest communication or a conversation about having a relationship or being interested in each other. They've only hung out twice before this, so it just hasn't happened. I feel like Holly is jumping the gun and just assuming that Dorian doesn't like her in any way. And has no feelings towards her, which isn't true. He just takes a little bit more to open up to people and develop those romantic feelings. But like I said, he does find her very attractive. He loves hanging out with her. He actually somehow manages to deal with her outbursts. This whole time she's been yelling at him, and Dorian has been in a great mood. Like, he hasn't gotten upset with her once. He just kind of takes it and like understands that's kind of how she is and that she needs redirection to like reestablish an emotion, like her emotional regulation, essentially. He's really playing everything off, which is great. The movie is now over, and it doesn't seem like either of them actually enjoyed it. I feel like both of them thought it was probably kind of cheesy. Dorian is definitely more of a fantasy kind of guy. He's not big on horror movies, but he just figured for Halloween, you might as well. Holly does tend to like horror movies, but she's very critical of them, as all things with Holly. So the night is still pretty young, so we're gonna get them to go and hang out and play some horseshoes. Look how cute she is. She's actually blushing, or it looks like she's blushing. It might just be the makeup. I think it's the makeup I put on her, but it's so cute. But we're gonna go and have them play horseshoes. If Holly doesn't win, I feel like she's gonna be very upset. So they're here just playing horseshoes. Holly is not very good at it. You know, for being on a ranch, girl, you don't know how to play this game. So they're going to play a couple rounds and see how it goes. I think this is a good way for them to have some lighthearted conversation. I think Dorian would be, you know, cracking jokes and trying to like loosen her up a little bit. She's still pretty resistant to all of it. It's probably more so resistant now because she's losing. But he's really trying. He also knows in his head, he knows that the last time they saw each other didn't go well. And what Holly doesn't know is actually, let me put in a little flashback here. After Holly left the bar, Dorian and Dakota had a whole conversation at the bar about how Dorian was uncomfortable with Dakota having this feud with her, and that like he actually did want to have at least a friendship with her, and that he got along with her and he didn't like the way this was going. Holly, of course, doesn't know that any of that happened, so she's just thinking that, you know, Dakota's been talking about her behind her back. Dorian probably has a preconceived notion of her, and, like, she's too prideful to ever, like, break down and say anything, and she's a little vengeful. She, you know, has been obligated to be on the ranch, and she just feels like things aren't going 100% her way. She didn't place in the last 2 times she's done competitions, or the last time she did a competition she didn't place. And it just, she doesn't feel like things are going her way. This all isn't helping. She doesn't even feel like this guy that she has a crush on even likes her. And she hates his brother, hates his sister-in-law. And I feel like all of this has just been really hard on her. Despite all of that, she does want to take some pictures. She's a very social being, like social media kind of girl. She wants to, you know, at least put out there, I went out for Halloween, I had a good time. And again, Loki, she has a crush on Dorian despite all of these failings. All of these things I think can exist at one time. And she's really just trying to go through the motions and, you know, figure stuff out. To wrap up our Halloween evening, Dorian asked Holly to come and stargaze with him. Again, he's kind of nerdy. He likes fantasy. He's into constellations. He's into all of that stuff. He loves music. He went to school for music, and music is his big passion. He's a very artistic guy. So to end out the night, he invited Holly to come look at the stars with him, which I think is really sweet. And after they're done doing this, they will both head home. And Holly is very conflicted on how she feels about everything. I don't really feel like she understands a full scope of what happens, because they haven't openly talked about what happened the last time they saw each other. And Holly is someone who likes to assume and figure things out on her own and isn't great at communicating. So with that, we are going to end Halloween night. They are actually going to hug and go home, which is shocking, but Holly's going to wake up tomorrow with a whole different outlook on some stuff. Alright, so it is the next morning after her Halloween outing. Holly is just about to wake up for the morning, and like I said, she was going to go to bed and gain some new perspectives or a new way of looking at things, and she's going to put those feelings into action today, as you guys will see. So let's go ahead and put her jack-o'-lantern in her room and get her kind of situated for the day. I'm going to have her go downstairs and get some breakfast and kind of explain a little bit of where her head's at before I dive into this little bit of the story with her. So, I mean, she still has good feelings about Dorian. They're not very close. They're still just acquaintances, basically, or friends, slightly. She does still see him as extremely attractive, but yeah, after last night, she definitely knows that it wasn't a date, and she feels a certain type of way about it. She definitely has misconceptions about what that means. Maybe she thinks too highly of herself, but the fact that Dorian didn't make a move last night, that he didn't say it was ever a date, it was just a friendly hangout, which he said multiple times, has her feeling that he doesn't really like her as a person or at all. So she's going to put into action her plan to take down Dakota. In the beginning of the episode, she wanted Dakota to dislike her, and she's decided that she's going to be she's going to be a spy. Essentially, she's going to play both sides, and she's just really going to mess with Dakota. So today her plan is to kind of use Dorian as a way to get in with his family, convince Monica to be friends with her, kind of to open up the doors to her, is kind of what she is thinking. She doesn't really see Dorian as a potential romantic interest in the same way anymore, because she just doesn't think that he likes her. She still really likes him, but she has other motives at this point. So she wants to basically convince Monica and Dorian that she's this great person and just mess with Dakota the whole time. And she wants to do this also to gain access to their nectar recipe, kind of steal it from them in that way. And yeah, there's going to be some broken hearts if this succeeds. She still doesn't know that Granny Hazel is friends with them either. So poor Granny Hazel is also going to have to deal with all of this backlash of like the neighbors being like, what is going on? Like, why is she trying to do this? But that is the plan for today. Holly is going to go ahead and get Sugarbush ready. She's going to ride him over to the Hada house, and she is going to start putting her plan into motion to befriend everyone, but really just mess with Dakota. Oh my goodness, I was having her finish up taking care of Sugarbush and changing everything, and I was about to go over to their house, and look who is here, Dorian. Oh my gosh, Dorian wants to be best friends? You know what, this fits her plan. I'm going to say yes. We will be best friends with Dorian. He will never know now. I can't believe he came over here. It's like he knew. So I'm going to say to Dorian, hey Dorian, like I'm heading over to your house, you know, why don't I meet you there? Or you can hang out with Granny, whatever. I'm gonna go, you know, hang out with your family for a little bit. You know, I think it's time that we kind of mend the gap, you know. So I can't believe they're best friends and now they have a sentiment together. That happened so quickly. There was nothing literally a few minutes ago. So inside the house, Dorian decided to stay at their house, and he's going to hang out with Granny Hazel. Granny already knows Dorian, so they're just going to have a little chat and hang out for a little bit, but I'm going to leave these two to just get along with each other. So Holly is riding Sugarbush over to the Hada house right now, and she's determined to try and turn this around with Monica at least and get an in with that nectar recipe and see how far she can get to convincing Dorian that, you know, the fights are all behind them and everything that Dakota says isn't true. That Dakota's really the one that's picking on her and doing all of that. She's really just going for a covert operation here and trying to convince everyone that she's the good guy and it's really Dakota that should be the one everyone is pointing their finger at. So Holly's inside the house now, and she immediately gunned for Dakota. I actually didn't plan for her to do that. I wanted her to go talk to Monica first, but she went straight upstairs to Dakota, and they're going at it. They are fighting, and she's just talking down on him and making fun of him and just basically calling him a gremlin. That's what she's doing. She is not holding back. So her and Dakota are gonna have this awful fight, and then she's gonna turn around and talk to his wife and act like it didn't even happen, because she feels like this is the only way she's gonna get what she wants, because like I said, she feels like things aren't working out for her. Her competitions haven't been going well. She's not progressing in the same way. She's still having problems handling all of the ranch work. And here's, you know, Dakota with his perfect little family, with their thriving nectar business, and she just feels like no one has really been accepting of her in this neighborhood. Ironically, Dorian has been great to her, but she is just so blinded by everything. She's just assuming that things are different than what they are. And she's kind of going to shoot herself in the foot a little bit right now, because I think it has the potential to backfire so greatly and ruin any potential relationships that she has with Dorian, and even with Monica. Monica doesn't have any reason to dislike her, and Granny kind of helped soothe over some of the ill will. So it's really with Dakota. If Holly would just be open and apologize to Dakota, he is a really forgiving guy and really open to, you know, understanding people have, you know, bad days, have bad weeks even, in Holly's case. Dakota would be more than willing to let bygones be bygones, but it's just not the way Holly is. Holly's coming downstairs now to talk to Monica, and she's really going to work on this relationship and really smooth things over. Monica's going to be like, oh great, I'm so glad we're turning over a new leaf. I talked to your granny, which this is going to be the first time Holly is hearing about it, and she's going to be like, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I knew Granny came over here. She didn't, but she's not going to act like she doesn't know. It's something she'll bring up later. But she's really going to develop a friendship with Monica. And here comes Dakota. And Dakota's going to be so confused. He's going to be like, okay. And he's waving again, you know. I feel like Holly has never given Dakota enough credit for being open. They really just got off to the wrong foot. But he's realized, you know, a little bit of an error in his ways. He wasn't as open to allowing outsiders coming in. Not knowing, you know, that she wasn't technically an outsider completely. So he's really confused. You can even see it on his face. He's like, I don't understand. She was just yelling at me, but now she's being nice. Like, what is happening? And of course, if he brings up any of this to the family, they're going to be like, what are you talking about? She was totally nice. And oh my goodness. Okay, well, Dorian is coming back home. So perfect. Dorian is going to walk in, and it looks like everyone is getting along super well. Holly is really trying to mend things over. Her and Monica are having a great chat. Dakota looks a little out of sorts, but he doesn't know why. Dorian would probably be like, no, bro, like, I walked in and everyone seemed fine. Like, it's just you. What are you talking about? It doesn't seem like she was, you know, having any ill will or anything. So overall, I think Holly will be completely confusing everyone and making them feel like, oh yeah, we can let our guard down now. She's changed. She is willing to, you know, be a part of this community and be friends with us, and maybe Granny said something to her and this is all working. Meanwhile, Holly, of course, has other plans, and Dakota knows the real deal. He knows for a fact he was just in a huge argument with her upstairs, and no one knows. No one is expecting or suspecting anything, but poor Dakota is going to be on his own with that one, because Dorian's over here like, yeah, this is great, we're all getting along, and Dorian is probably going to start leaning more into being like, I could see something with her, she gets along with my family, like, I really like her, I enjoy spending time with her. I think this would be leading Dorian down the path of maybe potentially seeing her as a potential, like, romantic interest, especially now because they're best friends, and for him that's what he kind of needs before he develops those feelings. So I could see this pushing his feelings along, and meanwhile Holly is just over here playing two sides to this. Holly feels accomplished in what she set out to do, so I've sent her off to go practice more barrels, because we really need to start moving forward and finishing out the barrel racing, like, sector of the horse competitions. So I'm going to have her practice, but she feels very accomplished in what she set out to do today. She really wants to basically pull the wool over everyone's eyes, just to get an in and to kind of get a leg up in everything. For her, I think it's a sense of control that she feels like she's been lacking a little bit, and just she just wants to take the reins back, no pun intended, or fully pun intended on the reins thing. But this is where we're going to end the episode off today, guys. I know I'm taking this a little slow story-wise, and maybe not the way people expected it. I just wanted to do something a little bit different with Holly's story. But I hope you guys are enjoying it anyways, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.